Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, I'm joined by my business partner, John. What's going on, bud?
How are you?
Long day today. A very long day.
I think I'd agree with that.
I can't complain, though. Guys, if you didn't know, my partner, John, has another YouTube channel called John P. Link in the description below. Go check him out. Slightly different take, than what I normally talk about.
You have to take a look to find out how, though.
It's true. But today we're going to talk about something, which you may or may not disagree with, and that is things that we think you should absolutely not buy as part of your watch collection. Not necessarily watches themselves, but all the accoutrements that go with watches.
This is good.
There's a few pretty bad choices, but on that note, go check out delraywatch.com. Link in the description below. A bunch of new watches. Also, wristwatch check. I'm wearing the Hulk.
You're wearing the Hulk?
Yeah, Hulk time.
Hulk time. My vintage Speedmaster 1970 Speedy 145022.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Things that you should not buy, that you should avoid buying. Do you want me to start, or do you want to take this first?
I want to start, actually, because I just saw this here. This wasn't on my list, but these white gloves. Okay? These white gloves, if you're not doing YouTube reviews, and even if you are, I mean, why does any watch guy need these gloves? There's some guys out there, and I'm not totally judging, but there's some guys that'll have these gloves just to hold their watches in their house. I think that's ridiculous. What do you think about that?
I mean, I've never seen them used for personal use.
They're there. I've heard them on the forums. The guys
I bought them strictly for the very rare time I do a hands-on watch review. But yeah, I'd agree. There's no reason to buy that.
Put on the gloves before we hold the squale.
Okay. Fair enough.
Or as it gets the hose again.
Yeah, it's a dive watch. You can always wipe it down. But
what about you?
Mine is a little bit more practical, and it's something that I've been guilty of.
Okay.
I think you have too. I think everybody has at some point. And that is cheap, crappy straps. Particularly alligator grain straps.
Walmart straps.
Well, basically, all it is a piece of leather with an embossed alligator grain on it. Because a real alligator strap, on the high end, $700-800. On the low end, real alligator, $80-90 on the low end?
Actually, my last video is kind of about that. Check that out.
Okay, fair enough. But $80-90, and I know that's expensive for a strap.
Sure.
But when you get an embossed alligator strap, anywhere from $5 on Amazon to $60 on other web stores, they just look awful. Let me ask you.
Sure.
I know I've been doing this 10 years, but can you tell the difference between real alligator and embossed? Because to me, I can. It's like looking at a Warhol or a crayon drawing. It's night and day.
Yeah, I can tell the difference between the traditional pretend alligator or croc and the real, and so can most guys that have been doing this for a long time collecting. But also, it seems like a couple of the big manufacturers have an environmentally friendly, kind of animal conscious product that is a higher quality replica of an alligator strap.
Listen, I'm all for environmentally friendly. I'm not saying it has to be real alligator.
A soy-based croc.
I don't know anything about soy-based anything.
Soy-based croc straps.
All I can tell you is these cheap croc grain straps are a great way to make your beautiful watch
You're right.
look awful. All because you skimped out. I'm not saying spend the money on alligator, but hey, put it on a beautiful calf strap. Put it on a vintage strap. Put it on rubber. Put it on a NATO. But this faux alligator just needs to stop. I think it gets on my nerves.
No, that's definitely a fair assessment.
Anything else on your list?
I want to say. So I was actually going to say the straps. We got the gloves. I know I really rip on winders a lot, but I think they're entirely unnecessary. Unless you have a perpetual calendar, there's really no great reason to have a winder. Hans says it puts too much stress on the watch.
Well, I wouldn't say too much stress, but it's the equivalent of leaving your watch running at all times. And some watchmakers go back and forth on this, but I agree. Unless you have a perpetual calendar, no need for it. And some winders are really expensive.
there's some guys, including Kevin O'Leary, that say they put their watch on the winder every morning for 5 minutes and just stare at it. I think he said that in a video he just did.
I think Kevin O'Leary's a moron.
I don't want to say anything bad about the guy, but...
Listen, I don't rag on other, like, YouTube. He's not a YouTuber, so I can rag on him all he wants, but the guy's a moron. I mean, just the fact that Kevin O'Leary does it is more than enough for you guys not to do it, in my opinion. No, but I agree. Okay. Winders they're superfluous. I just think it's a waste. But, you know, they have use here or there. One thing I will say that I'm definitely guilty of is, like, cheap Chinese screwdrivers. You buy a screwdriver set because you want to size your watch, and you think, you know, how often am I going to use a screwdriver set? Once or twice a year. You buy them for $6 on Amazon. You strip the screwdrivers after 2 uses. When honestly, I'm not saying spend $200 on the top Swiss quality, but there are decent sets of screwdrivers for $30-40 that will last you a lifetime. Whereas a cheap set of Chinese screwdrivers, completely useless. And that sometimes can even ruin your watch. They're not sharp enough.
And when you slip and you don't use a spring bar tool and you use one of these Chinese screwdrivers to try to take off one of those pretend alligator straps and you stab your thumb, you're going to go and have to need a tetanus shot.
I mean, yeah, well, that's that. I mean, yeah, fair enough. I don't know what to say about that. But no, but I agree. It's spend a little more, spend a little more and get something, you know, that very well could last a lifetime. Absolutely.
That's a good one. Can I throw another one in?
Yeah, sure.
Because this one is horrible. Sometimes you'll see guys that treat watch metal like it's the stainless steel that's in their sink. And they'll go to, like, True Value or Home Depot and get, like, generic refrigerator metal polish and, like, you know, like, very harsh chemicals that they'll put on their watch because it says, polished stainless steel. And... Oof. That's a recipe for disaster.
I don't know how common or not that is. I'm hoping it's fairly uncommon, but yeah, that's awful. I've actually never heard of anybody doing that, but obviously you have.
It's on the forums.
I think it's pretty bad.
It's kind of eye-opening.
Yeah, a little bit. I guess the last one for me, I've done quite a few of these. As well. All these I've been guilty of. I don't know if you guys have noticed a pattern here. But watch boxes. Like, I have a watch box that's faux alligator.
Are you serious?
Okay, it was like $20 on Amazon.
And you use it to store your Chinese screwdrivers?
The beautiful part is it's in my closet. That's where I keep most of my watches. So it's not really for display, even though it looks awful. But the pillows. Like, I noticed I put my gold Moser on it, and gold is a lot softer than steel.
Yeah.
And the pillows are kind of harsh, and I can notice some, like, micro abrasions on the back of the watch.
Are you serious?
I don't know if it's exactly from that. I mean, forget the fact that the watch box is falling apart, but it just doesn't feel right.
Are you also using hardware store polishing compounds?
You caught me. That was all about me, guys. But yeah, I you know, pick like a decently priced watch box. I'm not saying go Scatola del Tempo, all $2,000 on a calf watch box. But I don't know, or use watch rolls. I love watch rolls. I use them to travel. Whew. But that's it for the list. Anything else on yours?
You know, if you're fine collecting with your watches and you don't really say, I absolutely need this to solve a problem, like, why buy it?
No, I agree. But these are just little things, little traps that I've slipped into. You know, the cheap screwdrivers, you know, the crappy straps. Just things that, you know, looking back, I must have spent, I'm not going to say thousands, but 10 years of collecting, cheaping out in the beginning. I must have spent $600-700 on crap that was absolutely useless. And that could have got me 2 really nice alligator straps.
Or 1 screwdriver in one size, made in Switzerland.
Handmade in Switzerland. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. We just wanted to kind of share our opinion about this topic. Don't take it too seriously. Also, please go subscribe to John's channel. Link in the description below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.